Well, hi there. Thank you for joining me. This is Kathy Crow's Cards. I'm Kathy Crow. This is Springfield, Missouri, and I'm kind of coming in here sort of unprepared to some degree, although these days, who knows what prepared looks like. Flower Cart is really a cute stamp set, so that's what I'm going to be using. You saw me assemble it last Friday. And so I'm going to save a little time, but I'll have to do it again. I was going to actually assemble it all again, but it doesn't take very much time, and I was shopping. I had to go grocery shopping. I went to the park this morning and spent way more time than I should have because it's so beautiful. We haven't seen the sun for a while, and it's pretty warm. I think it's going to be in the 50s today. So, it was nice. There were a bunch of us down there enjoying it. So I kind of slid in here at the last minute, a little unprepared. So we'll see how long the cards take. I actually wanted to do a couple. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to. This circle card is really cute. I've never made this. This is a circle wreath card. And I mean, I have made it in preparation for this, but I had never actually made these before because I disdained them a little bit. I'm afraid to say, I like this shape. It's cute. You know, but it just didn't have a lot of room inside, I didn't think, to write. But then after I made it, I thought, that's not a bad little card. It actually isn't bad at all. Mine is like maybe slightly bigger than some. I upsized it a tiny bit. I often do that because I like to write in the cards. I send them to family and friends. And so I have to have a bit more space. And then the other thing I'm going to use today that's not part of Flower Cart is our Bouquet of Love embossing. This is a 3D embossing folder. This comes with a whole bunch of things. I suspect it's not available right now because I already did the stuff with this one, I think. I think I already did this with this group. I know I did a bunch of Valentine's cards. And Valentine's is very hot right now, so it might be that this whole set is unavailable. I suspect this might be available, though. Sometimes when things come up with if you put in the suite number or the bundle number and it shows unavailable, don't give up. Put in the individual items rather than a bundled thing, and a lot of times part of it is available. Maybe the dies aren't, maybe the stamps aren't, maybe the embossing folder, maybe the paper. There's actually really beautiful paper with this adorning hearts. I mean, really nice paper. And they might even have, you know what I'm thinking? I might have discovered when I was looking through this celebration thing, was it in here? I don't know. I came across some fabulous paper that went with adorning hearts. Oh, it was. So it's actually adoring hearts. I keep saying adorning hearts. I don't know why, but I do. But there's this paper. I don't know if you can see it. It is absolutely fabulous paper. I don't even think that's what I'm talking about. So in the suite, in the main catalog, our new mini one, that is, there is other paper with this suite that's really pretty too. Now that's good paper and all that. I didn't actually want to do a lot of red with Valentine's this year because our Valentine stamps is the B bundle and this mailbox bundle. And, you know, I had already done some red Valentine stuff to send out to my family. So I actually decided this year I am not going to do a lot of red Valentine stuff. So I did very little. And that was great because this paper, what is this paper? I'm pretty sure it's in here. La-da-da. I don't see it right now, which is kind of funny. I'll have to find it later because it must be in the main catalog then. It's, anyway, it's pink and white and pretty, really pretty. Well, I'm not doing it today. I'm not using that today, but I went into all of that long diatribe just to talk about this embossing folder because this embossing folder is really pretty. So I do want to use this. We're gonna do the flower card. I think I'm gonna do the Hills of Tuscany behind it. I told myself I was not going to do this because these kinds of cards, when you're stamping a background piece like this, those are a risk. You really never know how great they're going to turn out. Sometimes they turn out really good the first time. Sometimes they need a little extra support. This one is using that Your Path Awaits, which is a great stamp set that I bought specifically for this kind of a project. I didn't even know Flower Cart was coming when I bought it. So it isn't that I bought it, but when Flower Cart showed up, I was so glad I had this stamp set already on hand, and I hadn't used it much because it has this really wonderful little water fountain. It's not the big giant fountain that we had a couple of years ago. It's a tiny one that can go in with any kind of a landscape scene. These buildings are really easy to do. The bricks are easy to do. It's a nice stamp to use, but you do have to kind of play with it a little bit. So that one also is one that's like, well, I don't know. I can do it with you, but I don't know how much I'll get done, and I don't know if it'll turn out great. We'll find out. So that's the fun thing about doing this, is that you get to see stamp making in its all honesty. I don't stop the camera. I do it live. I like you to see what really happens when you stamp. I've been stamping for almost 35 years. So I'm not a novice, but I'm not at all an expert. I look at other people's stuff for what I would consider to be expert work. But having said that, you know, everybody could be an expert, you know. I mean, expert is sort of like one of those things. I'm going to have to turn this. I keep thinking I can get everything on the frame here and have it, and I never really can. I don't know why I can't, but I can. Okay, so I'm trying not to have as much glare. There's always glare. My website address has slightly changed, so it has Wix site attached to it. But if you search for Kathy Crow's cards, you will find it. When you get there, you can easily subscribe to my newsletter. Every week I send out tutorials, and those are free, and I appreciate people buying stuff for, you know, through me with it. But I don't expect people to all be doing that, but I do really appreciate it. And if you are regularly looking at my newsletter and using my tutorials in even a casual way, it would be a politeness for you to buy something once in a while. And that's true of all of us demonstrators. We do this in order to be able to stay in business. And I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for those occasional purchases. So it's not like you have to do it all the time, but it's just like the old PBS thing. If you are watching Masterpiece Theater, you should probably give to them once in a while, or if you are politically affiliated like I am in such a way that I can never actually do that because they promote things that aren't healthy, well, then you can just realize it's going to go away possibly, and there you go. If it's a good program, I guarantee you it won't be going away. I'm trying to adjust my light. If you see me playing around over here in the corner, it's because I'm trying to reduce this glare, but it's actually not going to work. I'm going to have to live with glare because I've got to have light on this stuff. That's just the way it goes. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. And when I get to I'm not going to do a lot of coloring. Mostly it's going to be sponging and that sort of thing. But we're going to start by just cutting out some standard size cardstock from our basic white. So that I just cut in half at 5 1/2. That's 4 1/4, and I'm going to do all of them because I know I'm not going to need anything larger than that for anything that I'm using today. Okay, now one of the things that I know I want this is Azure Afternoon. I'm going to want a background piece of that, so that's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. We're going to cut that, and now I've got that ready to go. And I also think I might want Daffodil Delight, and that looks like it's already cut. That's 4 1/4, pretty close. So that is already cut for me. All right. I keep all of my scraps in a in a plastic sleeves that are written, so I know what's what. And then the other thing that I think I might be wanting today, I was going to use pecan pie, just because that's one of our current colors, but because it's really close in color, and I have a ton of cinnamon cider, because when they got rid of cinnamon cider, I did not know they were going to do pecan pie. And they hadn't had a lovely brown like this in who knows how long. The soft suede is nice if you want kind of that suede look. But when they got rid of cinnamon cider, I bought 2 packs of it to always have this brown on hand. And then they went ahead and did pecan pie. This is pecan pie, which is actually a little nicer, I think, than my cinnamon cider, but oh well, I am going to use I'm using my cinnamon cider up. At various times I use it because I don't want to have it just running out. And I think I'm going to do one of these cinnamon ciders with our Radiant dies, Radiant Stitches. Now this is going to be the background of one of the cards that I do today. On the back here, you're going to see I have something else. This is something else. What is it? This is leaves and labels. I have no idea. This is like, I've combined sets now with ones that have retired or are about to retire, because I want all my dies like really handy right by my desk. And I can't have that with as many dies as I have now. I have so many. And so I've combined so that I can use them, because you do want to use your things. If you find that you have so many things that you aren't using them anymore, then you have too many things. And that's said by somebody who keeps buying things. So what I do is I just organize it better so that I keep using all of my stuff. And I do. I keep using all of my stuff. Today, I had a little extra time this morning, so when I woke up, I reorganized all of my dots and gems and rhinestones and faceted gems, and I reorganized all of that so that I can find it all, because I noticed some packs weren't getting used. And isn't that nice? So this Radiating Stitches is really a nice big background piece. I don't know that I'm going to use that today, but I'm hoping I will, because it's a nice one. And there we go. We have got that all ready to go. I guess while I have this out, let's go ahead and just cut my flower carts, and then we'll have the pieces ready to assemble when it's time to go. And I should probably do a Radiating Heart as well. If I'm going to do that heart thing, and I've got Radiating Hearts right there, then I might as well. Okay, I've got some scraps of Azure Blue. I know that's one of the colors we're going to use, so I'm going to go ahead and get out my little cart. Now, what I've decided about my little cart, I have decided a couple of things about this. I really like the bottom for using just these dies. I prefer that to the stamped one. That little jar is adorable too, so that's what I'm going to use for the bottom. But I might use this stamped image for the top rather than these dies. These dies are nice. It does kind of keep all the color nice, but I can't really, it's harder to add dimension to that canopy. So I'm not so sure. And I have not used the fence much at all. If I do, I'm going to use this little white piece that I have in here. And I do have a flower bunch all ready to go. I'm going to get that out because I saved it so that I wouldn't have to color everything while you're watching, just because that gets tedious for everyone. So let's go ahead and cut out the flower card out of Azure Blue. This is going to be one card with a matching little flower pot. Just one. One will be fine. The cart actually barely holds all the flowers I want. Barely. It's a small cart. I like this card. It fits on a card nicely. sometimes I have to really upsize a card to get everything that I want out of it. This one I've not had to do that, and that's been pleasant. All right, so here's my cart pieces. I want to keep all these colors together, and let me get rid of my trash. I want that. I'm going to try to keep everything neat and tidy today. Our house is actually pretty neat and tidy right now. I vacuumed over the weekend. Aren't you proud of me? I usually keep the house pretty well vacuumed, and I think I vacuumed on Friday. What I really have to do is dust. The dust is starting to pile up, and it's an easy task to ignore, although I shouldn't. I used to be really diligent about it because Jeff has dust mite allergies, and I was like super careful to get everything dusted really good, for about a year. And then I realized his dust allergies don't seem to be affected much by whether I have the house well dusted or not. It doesn't seem to make it any worse or better when I don't, and I started to slough off on the, there it went. I got this piece. That's an important piece, and it's very tiny. Now, why are my wheels not popping out? They should be by now. There we go. There's one. I really don't want the little pieces. I just want the wheel. For some reason, they're not. There you go. Not popping out for me. There we go. All right, so now we've got that one. And then I'm going to just stamp and cut the other one when it's time to do that. And then I also want a yellow one. Okay, so we have yellow as well. I really like sunny yellow for flowers. I don't think that my flower bunch has any daffodils in it. Those look like tulips. And I'm a little sad by that because spring should always have daffodils. Don't you think? Let's do this. I'm going to try to conserve my paper a little bit here since this is a nice big piece. Okay, so we're going to cut out this part of the cart in Daffodil Delight. And one of the reasons I'm preferring this way, I'll show you my version with the stamped, is you see all of this white when you do the stamp and the die. The cart part's okay, but the wheels has a lot of white that I would probably want to cut off, and I am not going to be doing that with you. For that card, I left it as is without cutting a lot of extra because I wanted you to see what it really looks like when you just cut it straight out with a die. But if I were to make that card again just for me, then I would be cutting away a lot of that white. That's just me. I'm kind of a little persnickety fuss budget when it comes to some of the dies not having enough of the white cut out. If I'm going to pay for the dies, they'd better cut most of the excess away. And if they don't, I'm a little disappointed with them. So I actually really like these. So I'm forgiving the other flower cart dies for not coming up to snuff for me. Because this is really cute. These wheels are really nice. And they're pretty easy to put together. When this is one of all the things that I bought in January or December, whenever I bought these. I bought a bunch of stuff. This is one of the last sets I have to get to because I was a little intimidated by the cart. I was afraid it was going to be very difficult to put it together, and it isn't. It's real easy, so I shouldn't have been afraid of it, but I was. Okay. I know my magnets aren't holding it. They're not the highest quality magnets, and I'm living with that. All right, now we've got, I think, most of that stuff cut out. Let's do my embossing folder while I'm right here with this. And we'll even cut the circle wreaths for the card. And then we'll be getting a lot of things done all at once without me having to move this in and out. So this is that embossing folder. It is a 6x6. So, you know, the edges of this, if I want that heart to be in the center here, the edges are not going to be embossed, but that's okay because I'll be cutting that away a bit. You do want to kind of get your heart in the center there, though, if you want it in the center. Now, I think I would rather have the heart kind of off to the side. Yeah, but I'm a little afraid of doing that. So instead of having it off to the side, I'm going to go ahead and keep it in the middle. I'm just going to put it more up at the top of this cardstock piece rather than in the bottom. And then let me get my other sandwich pieces that need to go in here to actually emboss this. I think I need the base plate that comes with this machine, this cut and emboss, and the blue plate, I think, is what I need. Because these embossing folders are different thicknesses, if you get one and it's not going through, you just have the wrong sandwich. Get the different plates. It comes with these plastic plates. It also comes with this thin plate, I believe. At least I have one. And you know, you can also just even use cardstock if it's just feeling a little too, you know, not quite snug enough. But see, that's feeling just a little snug, but not too bad. If you're having a hard time cranking it, you have too much going through. Do not force it. Find a better sandwich because you don't want to ruin the tension on your machine. Okay, so don't ever force it. Find the one that fits, where it goes through pretty good, but is tight, but not so tight that it's going to ruin your embossing machine. I'm going to set that aside, and we are going to cut out the circle wreath card, and I think I want that. I might want that out of yellow. Let's try it that way and see if it is what I want. I'm not really sure if it is. Do I want it in white or yellow? I might want it in white. Let's do it in white just to be on the safe side. I'll take one of my pieces here, and you want, now you could do this. It doesn't have to be a circle. You could use these. These are really nice. This is our Thoughtful Expressions. Goes with that wonderful little hummingbird. These are our Stylish Shapes dies. This one has all of these circle dies. So what I want are, I think I want not the biggest one. Yes, I do. I want the biggest one, and I want this one. And we're going to cut 2 frames. I'm not doing just one. I know some people say to do one. No, you're going to want 2. So make it equidistant, so there's it's going to be a nice frame, because you're going to use the frames. You're not going to actually use the circle pieces. You're going to use the frames. So this is going to be 1 frame. And I'm going to have to get out another piece to do another frame. So we've got this frame. And save your circle, because you'll use that sometime, but I don't know that I'm going to be using it. And then I'm going to save this too, because I could use this for a, you know, a sentiment or something. And so we'll do another white piece and another frame. And we'll be all set with our circle card. The circle card's so cute. Now, the fun folds that I'm kind of doing today are super easy. These are like super easy. Some fun folds take a little more thought. Actually, there aren't that many that are hard to do. It's just a matter of watching someone do it. And there's always a tutorial online somewhere and on YouTube for you. It might not have exactly the right dimensions, and you might have to tweak it. That's the one thing about having, you know, finding them on YouTube. Okay, so those are going to be a nice, perfect little frame to put together. All right, so now what I want to do, since I'm kind of working the circle card in my brain right now, let's go ahead and cut and cut the circle part of that card. So my dimensions for the circle wreath card are starting at 6 by 6 and then score at 3 inches. So it's pretty easy. Let me grab my cutting machine out here, my little cutting board. And you're going to want to use not the biggest circle, but the smallest circle when you do. Of the two that you just did, you want to use this one to cut the circle on your card. So we need a piece of 6 by 6 cardstock. And I'm not sure. I thought I was going to do it with blue. Now I'm thinking maybe I want to do it with white. I'm not sure. Let's do it with blue. And maybe I'll do it with white. And then we'll see what happens. I don't know. I won't mind having 2 circle cards. So let's get another piece of Azure Afternoon. And we're going to do a 6 by 6 cut of that, and then we're going to score it at 3 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to do another white one just to be sure that I have a white one on hand. If I don't like this blue, then I can do white. Okay, so we've got 6 by 6. And then we're going to score that at 3 inches. This is a super easy one to do for a class if you're doing classes with people. This is a really good, I think, a good beginner's fancy fold type card. This is a fun fold, but I would call it a fancy fold because I think it looks fancy. And I don't know that there's any difference between any fancy or fun. It's just a matter of what you want to call it. Now, normally you would open it like this and do this. But if you do that, you're going to have to make sure this fold line is exactly in the center, which is hard to do. So instead of that, I'm going to just put it like this. And then I know it's going to be the same. You could do it deep or you could do it not so deep. But you definitely want to be able to put this on it. And if you do it too deep, well, you can do it still, you see. It doesn't really matter how deep you do it. I don't want to do it too deep because this is already 3 inches. So if I'm going 2 inches, I still have only a 5 inch. It's going to fit in a standard A6, card. But if I'm going to do it like this, I have to run it through a couple of times because I've got 2 thicknesses. Make sure your distances on these sides are equal. Mine wasn't. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just eyeball it like I'm doing. But if you want to be perfect, you can. But I don't think you need to be. So we're not going to be. But I kind of need my hand to get out of the way. All right, so we're going to cut, check, eyeball, make sure it's right. It is. So we're going to go through 2 times. There's 1, 2. Actually, it ends up being 4. But that should cut all through all 2 layers. See? This is just going to be trash now. I mean, you might be able to use it because actually you could use this if you wanted to do a card and have a little buckle thing. That actually would be pretty cool. So I'm going to throw it on the side. I might use it sometimes. Who knows? We're going to do another one for the blue. Get it in the middle. My plate on here and hope it doesn't shift too much. It kind of is. That's the one problem with doubling up your cardstock underneath is the die kind of tends to want to shift as that card opens up underneath. But you can work it. You can make it happen. Okay, so we're going to run that through again. I'm running it through 2 times, but I'm really doing it 4 because I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. But just to be on the safe side to make sure that came through. And there you go. So this is how your circle card looks initially. Yes, called the Circle Wreath card, and I think Tammy White is the one I got this from. All right, so that is that. I'm going to put these away. I don't think I need my dies out for a while. Let's put them all away and get to work. All right, so the folder, let's check that out first, because I don't want to just leave you like this. Oh, you're so pretty. First of all, I'd like to trim the sides, and let's decide what we're going to do with this. I want my cinnamon cider with my yellow. So I think blue is what would be the background for this. And so we're going to do that. Let's trim this down. And when you're trimming something that's embossed, it's better to turn it over and go on the back side, because your blade is going to catch on this stuff and it sometimes tends to tear it. So I'm going to trim off, let's see, so this is 5.5. Wow, my piece was quite large. Go there and look at it, and then we're going to turn it over again, and then we're going to trim this at 5.25. Okay, so that's going to leave a nice border on either side that way. And then we're going to trim this side. Again, this is the raised part. This is the more flat part. That's the part I want to cut, so it doesn't catch on the raised bit and tear. Unless your blade's super sharp, it can tear really easy. And then you just ruined an embossed piece. Sometimes there will be these little hanger-oners on the edges. My blade is needing to be replaced, and I haven't done it yet, so it's kind of tending to do that. And some cardstocks, I'm glad somebody mentioned this. On one of our demonstrator planning place, one of the reasons you want to join my team, or anyone's team, but I'd like to have you join mine, but anyone's team, you get to join the demonstrator planning place. And the demonstrator planning place has all kinds of ideas. People tell you things that you won't hear other places. And someone said that some cardstocks, she thought, tended to fray a little more than others, and I'm agreeing with her. Okay, now you can take this and just do this, but I'm telling you, you're not going to like the effect. I mean, it's okay, but I always end up going into things I don't want. I think I actually prefer, instead of using my sponge brush, to just delicately dab on the top. I like to do that. If I really want it to look good, I would take my pen and actually color these things, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. So I'm going to just show you how you can do this. I'm going to actually just use my plate here like this. This is our new glass embossed, our glass embossing thing. I've never done this before, so we're going to see how this works. I can see I've got some lines and stuff, so I'm going to use this brush to kind of smear it a little bit here, and that way my surface is going to be not, you know, it's not going to be static. There's going to be lines from my brush and whatnot, but it's not going to be like a, you know, ink pad that I just did. Now I'm going to just lay this on here delicately. Okay, here we go. Laid. All right, now we also have a new brayer thing. I don't have the new brayer thing because I've got 2 old brayers, which I'm going to be using. But I do want just some even pressure, but not hard pressure. Not hard. I don't want to push with my fingers because then it'll get too much on something that I don't want. Now see, that's not enough. So I'm going to move it a little bit. We're going to do this again. But I do want it just on, oops, the tops. Yep, that's not quite what I want. So I'm going to take my brayer and actually rub it in there. I don't know that I necessarily want the back, so let's move you out of the way. We're going to do this. We're going to rub off and rub on. I just want a little more color on those flowers. Isn't that pretty? And I'm a little afraid to use my ink pad. You can just take your ink pad, and if you keep it exactly flat, you can kind of get this same effect, but it's a little iffier. I'm not going into the area that's debossed, that little heart-shaped part. It's going to be a little harder for me to get the heart, but I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm getting my brayer in that ink and just pulling some of it up and onto this card. I'm going to do more of this side. I'm going to try to be careful. I'm hoping I don't get into the heart border part. I'm going to use this a little bit here just because I kind of want that heart to show, and it's not really coming out quite as much as I want it to with just the brayer. But you can see what I'm talking about when you use this brush. It goes down into areas you don't necessarily want, and so that's why I didn't want to use it over the whole card. And I really didn't want this effect over the whole card either. I just want to see some of the design, but I don't want to see too much. Okay, so that's good. We're getting everything we want. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. Now, I'm going to take this, though. I kind of like it on the edges, and we're going to just push this in on the edges a little bit. Don't get your fingers in there because they probably have ink on them. Kathy, don't get your fingers in there. All right, I think we're almost done, done. I love this. Isn't this gorgeous? Be careful here. Okay, so there you go. Now you can really see that embossing. You know, you could see the embossing with the naked eye pretty well before too, but it was harder. Because I did that with the brush, I got just a bit of ink there. But I kind of want to see around this heart just a bit. Just a bit more. Well, so what do you think? Can you see the heart? Isn't that pretty? Now we can clean up this mess, and it's really easy to clean up. It actually comes with its own little cleaning thing. Oh, I forgot to wet it. Before I wipe down that, though, I'm going to grab out one of my little handy dandy wipes, and we're going to clean off the embossing brayer. It's not an emboss, it's a brayer. And this is not the Stampin' Up one, but there is a new Stampin' Up one, and I'm sure it's quite nice. I just don't need a third one, so I won't be buying it. I'll wash my brush later. Okay. Give me permission to do that. And then we'll take the clean cloth, and it won't have quite so much ink on it now. There we go. And we have a nice clean surface again. Let me take my tissue just to make sure it's dried off good. All right, we are all set. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. I just need to cut more off down here, apparently, because I thought I had that right, but I either didn't size this correctly or something. Okay, 4 inches is what we want. Wow, it's quite a, I guess I left it at 4 1/4. I thought I didn't, but I must have. Okay, there we go. Now it is sized correctly. I kind of lost some of my sponging there, though. Let's put a little more of that back in there. And now we can glue this on. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. for the base of a card, it's really pretty. Very simple. Embossing folders are really good to do if you're a starting out card maker. You can get a variety of them for a fairly small amount of money. And for your money, you're not only getting designs, you're also getting texture. And dies are very expensive when you want so many. And they're fine if you only want 2 or 3. But you know, you need a lot of them, actually, to do what you want to do. So they are fine for adding slowly, but you can start with more embossing folders. So I really encourage my starter-uppers to invest in those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our little flower cart on, but I do want my circle to be behind it, and this one's not going to, I don't know if this is going to be big enough. Let's check it out and see, maybe. Because I need to have not only my cart, but I also need to have the sentiment on here. I should have put that heart up here. I kind of wanted it there, but it didn't work that way. This way? Yeah, maybe we'll put it on this side. I think that might work better if we do it that way. So let's see, what are we going to use? Since I want to do a heart one with this one, let's see what we've got. I didn't bring my adoring hearts over here. Let's grab it. Perfect. We have got a Just For You that's going to fit in there really nicely. And if you wanted to add any flowers, you've got an abundance of them there, but I don't want to, this is already pretty busy. I don't want to add any more busyness to it. This heart is really nice. And I'm sure I have a heart something that would cut that out. It wouldn't be hard to cut it out anyway. But I'm afraid if I put it on that circle, it's just going to make everything just way too complicated. So we're going to just get our Just For You stamp out and stamp that on with our Azure Afternoon. Now we have 2 circles. One's bigger than the other. Let's try the bigger one. No, that's too big. We'll do the smaller of the 2. I'm going to do that right there. Oops, I lost my stuff on the floor. Oh, good. That's nice and moist still. I wasn't sure because I kind of forgot to get those things out and moistened. I've learned you've got to keep these Simply Chamois and the other things slightly open because they get a bit smelly if you don't. All right, now that that's done, I am going to go ahead and glue this on because these are going to be standing up, I believe, aren't they? No, they're not. I'm going to put dimensionals on those, because I think I'm going to glue my cart mostly right on there. So let's grab, I've got to open up a new package of dimensionals. I never get to the black ones. I mostly use white. And so these black ones just stay in here causing me grief because I don't ever use them. And I'm down to almost nothing with the white. Look at that. That's all I have, and I think I've gone through several white packages now. Keep thinking I'm going to use the black ones, and I never do. They're pretty much just a Halloween thing, I guess, for me. I just don't use black a lot. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this dimensional package here by just throwing it all on there. And then I'll get a new package out. That'll be nice. It's kind of like when you're a little kid and you get new crayons. A new package of dimensionals is sort of the same. All right, so we're going to put this like right here. Maybe I do want it on there because that side of my heart's looking a little stronger. All right, we'll put it right there. And then we're going to assemble the cart. So we're going to put the cart here. We're going to put the cart here like this. Oh, I forgot. This is the front of the cart, so it kind of has to go like that. We're not going to have a top on this one because it would be in the way of my Just For You. Because my wheels have to go back here like this. And then this is going to go like that. Okay, so I know I need this to be on here, so we're going to glue it on first. So that way I'll get my cart right where I want it. And I'm not even going to put this, I'm not going to put glue on the bottom of this stand because I think it's going to end up being off the circle. So I'll grab that side and we'll just put a smidgen of glue there. Like this. Okay, and then I am going to go ahead and put a smidgen of glue on the bottom, just the bottom, because I want my flowers to go in, but not. I'm going to put that glue on there and put my cart together like this. Okay, now I can, oops, get that over there. There, now that's all together, but I can still get inside of it. And then we're going to just glue this right to this. Let's put my wheel so I know what's what. The fat one to the back or to the front, the skinny one to the back. Right. I forgot I need to glue on my wheel. Let's stick it to the wheel. I was going to stick the wheel on there, but I think I'm going to need to stick the wheel to the cart and then to the, in order to get it to go exactly the way I want it to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Add a bit more glue. Because I've kind of messed around now. And I also want to get glue on this wheel. Okay, now it can all go down. Oops, I shouldn't have put glue there. Fiddlesticks. Okay, there we go. Ideally, your wheel is even with this. Unfortunately, mine's a little low. So I can adjust it a little if I hurry. Try to get it even and straight. Gotta kind of do this quick. You can't fool around too long once you've got the glue in place. All right, so now we're ready for this wheel. Because it's skinny and everything, oops. No, I got it right. The fat side is towards me because this is the bigger end of the cart. The skinny part of the wheel is under the cart more. But I need the axle to match up with this. Okay, so there's your axle. So we're going to put the center of the wheel right there. And then I'm just going to put glue on this because it's going to keep it all down nice and flat. You can use dimensionals. I've done it. You know, it looks really good. The problem is I'm thinking things are going to start getting messed up as people take your card in and out of the envelope. So I'm just sticking with glue. Isn't that cute? It's a cute little cart. I really like it. And then your little flowers can go right in there. Oh no, my sentiment though is going to be having a hard time being seen if I don't cut these apart. Oh boy, I'm not going to cut those apart. I will maybe stamp and put our flowers in there. Okay, let me throw away a couple of things. Clean off some of the glue off of my hands. And I'll use one of these scraps. Where's my flower card stamp? Oh, there you are. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just stamp this. And I want to show you how I did it, because stamping the flowers, it's a two-step stamp thing. So you've got your leaves and you've got your flowers. And you really need one of the skinny, long blocks. Not the longest one, but this medium one. And then for the green, it doesn't really matter what. You can do one color for the green, or you can do two. If you're going to do two, you're going to probably want to color them individually, but I'm going to just do one color. This is garden green. Okay. And then we're going to color the actual flowers. They look a lot better if you do it this way. If you just stamp one color, it's fine. But I kind of like having them color different colors. And you know what? It's easy to do. Super easy. So you might as well. So these are the flowers. You can see they're not all colored the same because I'm using different colors. So you're going to want to use your Stampin' Right markers. Let's see what I've got. I am using Melon Mambo and Grapefruit Grove, which is the retired one, and this is Pineapple Punch, but I'm just grabbing yellows and oranges. I'm not really thinking about it too much. And I'd like a purple or blue. I think I have an azure blue in here. Ah, there it is, Azure Afternoon. Now that's the one that I definitely want. We're going to start with yellow because I don't want that to smear into my other colors. So we're going to do our little daisies here at the bottom. They're going to be yellow. And then we're going to go with the orange for the tulips. And then we're going to go with our Melon Mambo for the pink little rosette type geranium ones, whatever they are. And then Azure Afternoon for the spiky, these are either like Veronica or lupin or delphinium. And then once you've done that, just breathe on it and stamp it, and you're good. Okay, now if it's not perfect, it's still going to look pretty good. Doesn't that look good? I do want some brighter yellow. That's not strong enough. So we're going to do that yellow again. I'm going to take out my Pineapple Punch. We're going to get rid of you. And let's do something like, let's do Mango Melody. You're going to come out a lot brighter. What was that? That was the daisy. Okay. It's not going to be exactly in the same spot, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. That's better, much better. I like that. Isn't that cute? Now, I could go ahead and cut that out with a die, but because that's not all going to fit in this cart anyway, I'm going to just use my scissors because I'm going to have to cut kind of close. I want those leaves to be really close here. I don't want a lot of white around there. So I'm just going to use my scissors for this part, and then not all of them are going to fit. I do like that part, but they're not all going to fit in here. Okay, we're going to just see what's going to fit first of all. You're having a hard time seeing everything, so we're going to just take off some of the flowers and leaves. I'm gonna just take some of it away. So that I can see my sentiment. Okay, now I do like the die. The die's gonna cut this really nice, but you know, if you're chopping at it anyway, you might as well just not get it, not even bother getting it out. Okay, because a lot of this is gonna have to go so that I can see my words, because I got it a little close. I should have probably got a bigger label. So how is your weather right now? I hope you're having good weather like we are. It is so gorgeous out there. I really should be out on the deck here pretty soon. Enjoying the birds. You know, those squirrels out there, they have really been making a nuisance of themselves. Okay, I'm gonna have to like really tuck this in here. Okay, because that's not... Okay, so I'm gonna take this bunch off right here. Okay. So that I can move this where I want it, because I actually want this to be here like this. Okay, so I'm going to just tuck it in so that I can see everything I can see. So I'm going to make a little snippet. My leaves are going to kind of hang out a little bit over, and a lot more going in there than I expected. So the leaves, though, I want to hang out over the edge of this cart. So I did make a hole. There we go. Now that's gonna go down in there enough. Oops, that's the part that goes down, is that part. That part stays up. Okay, so now we've got our little leaves are sticking out the way I want them to, and that's underneath. And then this bunch, I'm going to sacrifice some of you, and then we're going to put you guys right in there like that. Isn't that cute? I love it. We have another card to do. This one's almost done. You would just need to take, oh, let's do this so we can have some of that hanging out over the edge of my cart. Like so. There. Isn't that gorgeous? Maybe a bit of ribbon would have been nice, but we're going to leave it at that so that I can go on. I really like that cart just the way it is, even without its top. It's so pretty. Okay, so now that we've got that one done, I don't know if I'm going to get to my radiating die one, because I really do want to do the circle card. So let's see, what are we going to do with this circle card? I was going to use that embossing folder, I think, on this. All right, so now that you have your circle, what you want to do is you're going to take a piece of white cardstock, whatever color, you know, coordinating color you wanted. And we are going to make a little template here so it fits right in there. Because I do want my edge. So we know this is 3 inches because that's where we scored it. So let's go ahead and cut this. Instead of 3 inches, let's cut it at 2 3/4, maybe just a smidgen bigger than that. Okay. And then I'm going to position it so that I want more of a border. I've got quite a bit of a border on the bottom and sides. I mean on the sides. So I want that border to match. So now that border matches better. Let's get rid of the strays. Okay, so now that that has a nice even border all around, you want to take your die. Put it away, of course. Your smaller circle die and position it right where you want it. Now remember, you want a bit of a border here too, don't you? I can use the bigger one here probably. That'll give me a little bit better border. So you kind of just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be pretty close. And you want it to have a border that's going to match all the way around. It's going to be a little long there. So let's move it up. There, that's right where I want it. I think I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape. And that way, I'm going to be able to keep that in place where I want it. Let's see if I can find a piece of washi tape. That hopefully won't stick. My washi tape sometimes does stick. It's annoying when it does that. Okay, like that. It either sticks or it doesn't hold it down at all. Okay, there. There. Okay. All right, so now that is that, and now we'll cut that out. Let me grab my machine. Gently. There we go. See how it tore? That's what my washi tape does. It's really annoying, but I'm going to have that part covered anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's why I don't tape. You can use painter's tape, but I've had the same thing happen with painter's tape. So you've got to have a magnetic plate. And if you use your magnetic plate, I never use washi tape because I normally would just hold that, make sure that it worked. But today I'm kind of like in a rush trying to get this done with you, and I thought I could use my washi tape and have it not tear if I was careful, but no, it never happens that way, and I wasn't really too surprised. I can turn it over, but my stitching won't be right, and I'd rather just cover up that little spot that's slightly torn. You really can't even see it. I can see it, but you can't even see it. All right, so this is how this is going to look. Let's get our, before we do anything else, I want this to be on here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this right here, and then we're going to glue the back here and glue them together on the top. It's very simple and in such a cute card. If I had done 2 of these, that would have been smarter because then I would have had my insert already ready. I kind of forgot about that. So that is another step that you would want to do. Okay, so make sure your stitching is up and just perfectly right over that. And then we're going to do the back. Now, other people don't do the back. I like to do the back too. For one thing, it's just another little bit of reinforcement for this circle on the top. Okay, match it up. You want to make sure the front is matching up best. So if it's, you know, showing any blue, you want that to happen on the back, not on the front. Perfect. And then we can do this. You could use tape, but you would have had to have taped the whole thing. That's why I'm using glue. Then I can go bit by bit. There, isn't that cute? It's a circle wreath. And the thing I like about it is you can tie a nice little ribbon on that. It's easy to tie. Really easy. So we're going to just glue this white piece on. There's not a lot of room to be stamping on this. So I'm going to stamp something, but I don't know what. Okay, now my circle is kind of interfering with this a little bit because I didn't place it correctly. So we're going to have to scooch it a little bit. And then because I did that, I've got this edge that's weird. Can you believe I did that? I can believe it. All right, I don't really like that, so we're going to have to fix that. Because that's just no good. And I already had torn that other piece anyway. So I'm going to grab out another piece of, well, we've got this one that I did that I would use my card. Let's just use this. I won't be getting to it anyway. Let's see if it works. It does. So I'm going to cut this in half, and then we're going to even out the edge, and I can use this card for my front. We'll have to be more careful when I trim it this time, because I do need to trim it. Okay, so what I need to do is trim 1/4 inch off of all the sides, and that should be good. Well, let's hope. That's the plan. 1/4 inch. Let's make sure it's straight. 1/4 inch. Let's do 1/4 inch on the bottom and the 2 sides, and then we'll see how it looks at that point. I thought that's what I did on the other one. I did. So how come it's not? I must not have had the same circle thing going. It's better, but it's still off just a tiny bit. Isn't that funny? Weird. I'm going to have to mangle my circle just a tiny bit because I really don't want it coming out like that. Okay, so that is not perfect, but if I put my design on this side, it'll be fine. So I have to straighten out those lines, but I really don't want to cut any more off that top. But I do need it to be straight. And then we'll glue this one on. Wow. You're learning what not to do. Make sure you do it at the same time, apparently. Measure it, and get it in exactly the right spot, that circle. It needs to be in the same spot as your DSP, if you're using DSP, or like I am, white cardstock, needs to be in the same spot. I should have known that. I don't know why I didn't. Okay, so there we go. Very good. Oops, what's this spot? I don't know. A piece of glue, I believe. All right, now we've got our, we want to do our cart, but I used my blue cart. Let's use our yellow. We're going to have yellow with blue over here. All right, so we're going to put our little cart together right here. The flowers are already done for us, so that's going to go there. We've got this. I do have to do a flower bunch for that. We can use both of these. And there's the wheels. And I might want to do the top. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble the cart first. Okay, we're going to go like this. Now, if you want it back the other way, you would have to turn this over, obviously. Everything would be turned over if you want it going the other direction. And then, you know, it just messes up the beveled edges and all. So I'm going to just keep the cart going facing the other way, even though I'd kind of rather have it there because I'm trying to cover this up. But that's life. This is just the way it works. We're making it work. The hardest part is getting your glue to go out the exact flow rate. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. Okay, so that one's on there. Then we get our back wheel even with the prongs right there. So put it there like that. And then get our cart and see if that's correct. That's pretty good. I think we'll, nope, that's pretty good. Maybe move it over a tiny bit, like right there. I'll have to use that again to see if I got it in the right spot. I do have another technique for using tape. If for people who like to do tape, I would be careful with the tape with these little wheels. It'll work, but you might be in danger of tearing those little spokes. They can tear. Make sure this is where I want it. Right there. Okay, then the back of the cart. Am I doing it right? I think so. Right there. And then this wheel. My fingers have got so much glue on them then it's easy to grasp. I'm just pushing it down. That's not a good thing, the glue on the fingers. I'll have to take care of that before it starts to permanently glue, because once you start doing this, if you think, okay, I'm not going to worry about it yet, you get too much glue on a glue bottle, and you get glue on everything, and it doesn't feel good, and you're in danger of getting things stuck to your fingers you don't want. Oh, I forgot my front before we put that wheel on. Oh, that was close. We got to get this guy on here. Again, just a little bit on the bottom and the side so you can get in there. Whew, that was very close. And then we can put that wheel back down there. Perfect. All right. Let me clean my fingers off before I just start getting glue all over the place. Doing the wheels is just, there's no way you cannot get glue all over your hands. That's just kind of the way it is. Okay. Now I do want my flowers to kind of be floating, and you can see they can kind of cover that up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get my dimensionals, and I need a new package of white dimensionals. I'm sure I have a new pack here somewhere. And we'll get those guys on there. So cute. It can kind of float. It doesn't really even have to go in to the cart. It can kind of just float there. Oops, I don't need that one. Let's pull that one off. That one off. There we go. We'll save you over there. All right, very good. And then you've got your little canisters right here. What I'm going to do, because of time, rather than cut and color and stamp and all, we're going to just I think I'm going to just stamp the flowers right on here. I'm going to use the same method. Here are the leaves. We'll do those with, what color did I use? It looks like I used garden green on this one. Or I mean, not garden green, granny apple green is what it looks like I used. So let's use granny apple green. I think we want the blue one here. We want the yellow one there. Maybe like that. Okay, I'm just trying to get an idea where I want my flowers. So there's the leaves. One. And then this one's going to go like right there. And then the flowers, they're going to have to be one color. I think I've got 2 colors on that. No, they're really one color. These actually you can do in one color and it looks good. We'd better do blue. So let's do our azure. Maybe we'll do 1 bunch with blue and 1 bunch with yellow. Do blue on that one. And then we'll do yellow on the other one. Let's try our Mango Melody again, because I think our Daffodil would just be 2. Well, Daffodil Delight, you'll probably be yellow enough. They're pretty dark. There. Isn't that cute? You can't really mess those up. It's really nice. And then we'll put our sentiment right here. Let's see. We've got, I love how our friendship has grown, or have a lovely day. I've been using have a lovely day like totally all the time. I don't know why. I just am. It has this cute little sign. And actually this little sign would look really nice here, don't you think? But none of the sentiments... You can put happy hello in there. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll stick that on there. I think that actually might look really cute. And then I think I will have shown this bundle pretty well. I haven't shown you this part, but it can fit on there. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do it. Let's finish this out first. All right. Glue. We'll glue yellow with the blue bunch. And we'll glue blue with the yellow bunch. Like that. A little tiny bit of twine tied around that. That would look awesome, but you'd have to really be tiny, tiny, tiny twine, but that would look fabulous there. All right, we're going to stick with our blue and do blue for the little... Oh, where's my scrap? Here's my scrap. Let's do this. For my little sign. There is a die for that. It's like so easy to cut out though that, you know, it's really not necessary. Let's grab our little tiny, tiny words. Instead of have a lovely day, we're going to say happy hello. I love it. The circle card is too cute. Don't you like it? The little circle wreath card. Okay, like that. Like that and that and that. Again, I could get that die out. But to tell you the truth, this is actually going to take less time than getting the die out, probably. For me. Because I'm used to doing a lot of fussy cutting. So it's not that big a deal. We'll do that and that. And we'll stick our dimensionals on that. There's that one I mangled. Put you back on there. Right there. Sweet. You know, I don't really think you necessarily want the canopy. Oops, I have it out. But let's stamp it and see. We'll have to do it in yellow. It could be blue. Let's see, I've got all these stamps that need to be put away. So I've kind of been throwing everything on the side here, trying to get done. We're running along. Trying to get finished. Anyway, as I finish, thank you for joining me. I do really appreciate it, and I hope that you have found something entertaining and useful. Let's do I want blue on it, or do I want yellow? Let's try the Daffodil Delight first and see if I like that better. And where did Daffodil Delight go? There you are. You were in with the blues. Nice. I like that. Isn't that cute? You know, the only thing that would be better would be if I stamped or colored azure blue on the alternatives. That could be kind of nice. But the white is nice, and I think we're going to stick with that. Again, there's a die. But this is like super easy to just cut. The canopy itself is not super easy, but this part is. Kind of want that canopy die to do the canopy. Maybe I want to do that. Let's grab the canopy out. Where are you? There's these lovely little flags. I really like those. They're so cute. There's the canopy. And then this canopy is just slightly, I think, the other size. It's not, no, it is, it's just not quite a, not as perfect a match. No, it's pretty much a perfect match, but it would cut out your individual pieces. Now, if I wanted to do that, though, I could cut out those individual pieces and I could glue those in there, and then it would be, I wouldn't even have to color, would I? Rather than watch me fussy cut that, we'll go ahead and cut that part of the canopy. I do want to be sure. I'm going to do it this way because I don't want my legs to get chopped off. I might accidentally do that. Let's see if that got it. I'm not sure that it did. No, almost. Pretty close. I was afraid I might have been too close to the little legs. I didn't want those to get chopped at all. All right, I think we are almost done except for the little tie. You have to have on a circle card, a circle wreath card, you have to have a little tie. Now the canopy is so cute, isn't it? You want some of the canopy in front, some of the canopy in the back. So these legs can be in the front, these need to be in the back, and that one's not going to fit because I think I've got a dimensional back there, don't I? Maybe not though, maybe it'll fit in there. Ah, it does, barely. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these, and then I'm going to put a dimensional on. I'm going to glue these two little front legs that are going to stick out on top. And that one's the one that sticks out too, I thought. I think there's only one that goes behind. Do I have glue on it? I can't see. I can't hardly see. I think there's glue on there. All right. So this one I definitely want behind. I'm going to kind of tuck you in down there somewhere. Wiggle him in. That like that. That like that.
bring you up a bit, like that. And then we're going to get little dimensional and tuck you in. Let's undo the back so it'll stick right in there. Right in there. Isn't that cute? Huh. So sweet. And then we just need our ribbon and we're done. I did not get to the Tuscany Hills one. I guess I'm not too terribly surprised because it is hard to do online, live. I have coloring classes that I would love to show you how I do these things, but I need to be paid for something, so you have to take those coloring classes by registering for them on Square, on my little Square store. And then I would be happy to show you how I did all of the Tuscany Hills. The coloring classes are specific, but you can also get a coloring class that's not so specific. If you, I wonder if yellow would look better here, because that's just too dark. Let's try a yellow. We do have some very light twine, but that wouldn't quite work either. Don't we have a boho blue one? I thought we did. Boho would be a little closer to this azure afternoon. I think I'm going to have to go with yellow because that's just not quite working. Let's find a yellow. I don't have a, it has to be skinny. Has to be skinny. We do have a lemon lolly. So we have a set of 3 twines. And this has, it has a peach and this lemon lolly, and I think it's boho blue. I don't really remember. We'll use this lemon lolly one. And I'm going to double it up a couple of times there so we have a nice amount to work with. We'll tie a nice little bow. I kind of wanted a real ribbon, but oh wow. We'll just use this twine. It'll work. Oops. Got kind of extra there. And that one. Let's go with this one too. So we have enough on that side. And we'll click here. There. Little ribbon on the side. So cute. And then again, you just want your white insert there to write on. And there's that one. And that one. And there's just so many things you can do with this really pretty little flower card. Isn't it cute? I love it. I used our Grace's Garden with that radiating background. Just the gate and the little kitty and all, and it turned out so nice. I wanted to do that one today too, but did not have time. Anyway, thank you again for joining me. Thank you for making your purchases in my store. Again, if you want any help with coloring, I would be happy to help you out. There's always coloring tips that you can find online, but it's sometimes hard to find specific what you want. So if you take a coloring class with me, I will ask you exactly what kind of thing you want to color. And then we can work on that. And it's easy to learn, There's usually very little that you need help with. It's just that you need something specific. And I can't just give it out, you know, I mean, because it's different for everyone. Whatever particular thing that you're coloring that you need help with, it's just different for everybody because we all have different tastes. We like different things to color. Like for me, landscapes and all,
you know, there's just so many different things that you can do. And coloring involves painting, the alcohol inks, the markers, the pencils, the blending. I mean, there's so many elements to it that you really just need a class to learn the specific bit that you want. Let's see, what else is there? Celebration, don't forget, for every $50 you spend, you get free items, and there's a lot of really good things out there. So get those items. Whenever you buy $50 or more from me, then I will send you a free gift as well. And again, a great time to join our team. We get to do fun things every month. I send out our kit to everyone on my team, and we do it online, and you can access it when you want to. You don't have to do it with us at the moment. You can always work on that kit anytime you want to, but it's your own free thing that you get to do with our team every month, and I like doing it. It's super fun. Let's see, what else? Anything else? I do have classes online. I might have to take some of those off because we are having a wedding and a baby born in the family this spring. Spring is a busy time for me anyway because I like to garden and plant, and I'm going to be doing some stuff outside. So it's a hard time to get me inside anyway. So this year, I'm not sure how many classes I'll actually offer in the spring and early summer. Those months might be blocked out. So don't be surprised if you go there and find some things are gone or just aren't available for a while. Let's see, what else is happening? We have Valentine's Day coming up pretty quick. So I will next week, I probably will do a Valentine's thing. I'm going to just do it one time. So I might wait until this Monday before Valentine's Day. We'll see. And I think that's it. Have a wonderful week. Have a sunny day. It is a beautiful day. And I hope you make it beautiful for others. It really does make it more beautiful for you too. It does. See you next week. Bye-bye.